Eclipse Games podcast where we bring you the latest in gaming news, indie reviews, and everything else under the sun. My name is Kendall, and I'm here with my co-host
Tony, aka Flab Soul.
All right. I respect the fact that the
Oh,
food nicknames led directly into like the fat nicknames. You know what I mean?
yep.
There's a theme going. I get it. I like it. I respect it. But back again, man. Back for episode 65.
Lane
Eventually we
Johnson.
just hey, listen, we gotta stop counting at some point, but I gotta get to a few more of these highlight numbers. We got a couple more Eagles players to get to, you know what I mean? But yeah, back again, man. We're gonna make this a relatively brief episode because it's somewhat different than the normal episode. This time we're kind of highlighting particular event that we both ended up going to. If you guys have been watching this for a little while, you'll remember our episode on UEL eSports, which is an ultimate in gamers league esports, where we interviewed my man Titus Walker, the founder CEO of the whole program. Got some insight on what made him start the league. How things kind of got kicked off for him, and how unique UEL is. Like the episode kind of gave us a lot of insight onto what they were doing differently as far as having a league built around like essentially your average gamer being able to jump in there and compete with people, and having such a wide variety of games. But hearing about it was one thing. This weekend, we actually got to attend the season 8 finale. It took place out in DC, Capital One Arena. And I would just say it was an incredible experience. Tony, like, how you feeling after this weekend? Man?
Uh, I, I mean, I told Titus there, like watching it on Twitch is one thing, being there for it is completely and totally different. I mean, we've seen esports events like Evo and stuff like that where like it's hype, but this was a different type of fire and hype. It felt like going. I've always been very critical of AAU basketball,
Mhm.
but in the best possible ways, it felt like going to an AAU game where it was like everybody in the crowd was locked in.
Yeah.
Everybody was hype. I mean, dudes had their parents there, and their parents was just as hype. Like it was really dope. I mean, I think the last three games, Titus was sitting up front row, and every
Yeah.
time the game ended, that dude was standing up with his head on his hands like the super high fire meme, like
Like that
at
that
the
pretty
end of every
much
single one, man.
listen, that tells you everything that you need to know. Like that's pretty much as high up as you can get, and he's invested in the match. You know what I mean?
Fully
Like
invested, man.
this event was crazy. It was New Moon versus Reapers. I don't want to spoil who won. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
want to
y'all just
talk.
gotta watch that.
Yeah, we're
The
gonna
the
we're gonna
ending was incredible. Just like there's
yeah.
the one thing that it doesn't come off as overly strategic as it actually is when you're watching it on Twitch as opposed to in person. But the
Mhm.
forfeit system, like the way it went down at the end, and I can say this much without giving it away, but the way it went down at the end with New Moon actually forfeiting a game where they had a dude who was actually really, really good at it, it was
Mhm.
like in the moment, I'm sitting there like, yo, what are they doing?
Right.
But then it made sense. And it only made sense because the Reapers got this kid on their squad named Ricky. Ricky a bad motherfucker, man. Like I look, I need y'all to go watch this championship.
Yeah.
Ricky is a bad man. Like for real. His family was up front. I think it was like his mom, his dad, and like sister and brother. Something like he had everybody. They had to sign up with his name on it and all that. They
That's
was going
awesome.
all out. But like it looked. I swear to God, it looked like every single time. And don't get like everybody on the Reapers was nice, but it seemed like every single time Ricky got his hands on the sticks, he was doing damage.
Man.
Fighting game, it didn't matter. Man, he made a move. He made a move on Fortnite at the end that didn't work out for him at the end, but it was so fired that it didn't even matter.
It was just like the attempt. It's
Oh,
like,
MVP.
yeah. Yeah.
MVP. Ricky a bad man.
Hey man, and you see how you can pinpoint that, like you know what I mean. This is the beauty of it, like being able to hone in on who's good at what and who's good at damn near everything. Like you know what I mean, who's out here shining just on. You would think that things would get lost in the mix with so many games in rotation because they played a
They
lot of games.
20, I think 26 total is
It
what they
ended,
ended up
yeah,
playing.
because it was 14-12. I'm not going to tell you who won, but the final score ended up being 14-12, which shows you how close it was, like how many games was going back and forth. Like, it really was crazy. I stayed for the majority of it. I didn't catch the ending of it, but that 4.5 hours, like I was just locked in. Like I only left because DC is a terrible place to travel, and if you can avoid it, please avoid it.
Yeah, yeah. But
But
the wild thing was is that like when they started, the Reapers went up 4-1.
yeah,
Like it was looking like they had, they had their foot on their throats.
yep,
And New Moon came back. And then from the moment they came back, it was either tied or somebody was up one.
facts, back
And
and
that's what
forth.
it was the rest of the way.
Like it's crazy how much it was back and forth the whole way. And I feel like no games really encompass that more than the fighting games. Cause
Yeah.
it felt like every time a fighting game happened, even when somebody would like show signs of like sweeping the other team, then the
It was
last person
stop.
would come through and fuck around and
It
reverse
was
sweep them. Like
stop.
it was crazy. Like it's and I mean every fighting game. There was like what,
Yeah.
6 or 7 fighting games played?
6 or 7 fighting games. And it was literally like, all right, we going 4-on-4. It's 3-0. No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Right. Man, it's
It's
wild.
3-3
Like
now.
you just legitimately have to watch it. The energy is out of the and when we say there's a lot of games being played, man, they pulled out again. Don't want to spoil everything, but I just gotta say, I was shocked to see Yu-Gi-Oh! I know that it was on the
Yeah.
list of games, but just like seeing that pop up in the middle of like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because I mean, it
COD
spun the
and
wheel. We might not have ever seen that the rest of because there
yeah,
was we didn't see Gears. The rest
right.
of the whole thing, Gears did not get played.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that thing hit Yu-Gi-Oh! And we was both sitting there like, "Yeah, what?"
That's wild. And then you just end up locked in
And look,
like,
the rules have changed since middle
yeah,
school. Like I told you, the rules have changed significantly. Niggas was chaining stuff, and I'm like, hold up, wait,
you can do this.
wait, it looked like Uno. Niggas was just stacking draw fours.
Man, that's actually wild. I mean, look, I was never the Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I told you I was more like weirdly understood how to play Pokemon at a young age, but not entirely. Like I wasn't that great at either one. But I respect like seeing it played at like a level where like you willing to get up on a screen and play this shit. You know what I mean? Like how much realer can you get with Yu-Gi-Oh?
That that one was funny because like I want to say the first 10 to 12 minutes of the action back and forth was just set up. Like it was
Yeah.
really just set up. And New Moon had they set up way better than the Reapers because when it came time to do damage, that shit was over in 20 seconds.
Hey, look, that's I love games like that's true strategy right there.
Man,
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of StarCraft 2. They had a little StarCraft 2 in there. There was a lot of
yeah.
setup in there from what I understood. I'm not a StarCraft player, so yeah, it could have been
It's
scribbles
been a
on a
long time.
yeah. I
Long.
you know how it be when people that don't watch Overwatch watch Overwatch and it's like, wow, these are some bright colors. I could be watching
Yeah.
fireworks right
But
now.
and see, but that was part of what made the whole experience dope is because it was people sitting like around us that was like, I can't follow none of this shit, but they was hyped. They knew
Yeah.
when to be hyped.
Right. You can feel the energy. You start to pick up on what's going on. This is how it's the least gatekept thing I've seen in gaming. That's how I
Yes.
put that's
Yes.
how I put
It
Yu-Gi-Oh!
was
Like,
like Titus told us on the interview, this is for everybody. And damn it, it is for everybody.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
when
man,
somebody pulled a move and got the win, it looked like the first time niggas heard Loaded Luck say you gonna get this work.
facts. Like it was really that type of energy, man. Like I feel like a person could wander because I mean they had people like, outside like, hey, you like video games? Come check us out. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah.
like if you were to be a person that was walking around like, hey, I'll check it out, you would leave there cheering and clapping and
Oh
like,
yeah.
emotionally invested in who was winning. Um, one of the highlights I noticed because I did watch some of the rest on stream instead of like watching after I left. In the Guilty Gear segment, I remember the Twitch announcers who were actually like you couldn't hear them when we were there, but they had some really interesting commentary. Shout out to those guys, but. They were talking about how I think it was Cuddy on one of the teams who was like struggling. He struggled in Gears, so they wanted him to have his moment and like jump out there and like really do his thing in Gears of excuse me, not Gears, Guilty
Guilty
Gear.
Gear.
Yeah, Guilty Gear. They wanted to see him do his thing in it, and I think that's like such a clear cut example of like, you can be on the team specializing in this thing or like good at that thing, but you try this out and you find that you like it, and maybe you're not where you want to be. But one comment that they made that really stuck with me was there's no such thing as being bad at a game. you
Yeah.
just need more. It's only just needing more practice, and like my
Yeah,
man put it
but
in the
you
practice.
can see that. You could see it in the way other people were playing. Like you could tell who had like Ricky had the fighting games down. Like it didn't
Mhm.
matter who what it was. He had a character. He had the move set down. He had the combos down. All of that. And then you had to do like Spicy on New Moon. He was nice with it. And the funny thing about Guilty Gear is I think Titus told me X-Ray Aspect on the New Moon was the one of the best Guilty Gear players in the league.
Yeah,
That's the game they forfeit.
which is wild. That's
And like I
wild.
said, looking back, like okay, it made sense because, like to me, and I'm just speculating. To me, it looked like they gave that shit up because they were like, "Look, if Ricky take out X-Ray, we ain't got nothing else for that dude."
Yeah,
So
I
they were
get it.
like, "Look, we gotta take that one, and we'll try to get it back on Fortnite."
Right, right. And I mean, you'll have to watch to see how things played out. Like we said, like there was a lot of back and forth. Like the
Yeah,
whole thing was just back and forth, but it was just a beautiful thing to see. And similarly, I remember they were playing 2K, and they
yeah.
ended up forfeiting that one.
Reapers was like,
Yeah,
look, because I think they were down like 16-8 or something like that, and
yeah,
they're like,
and their
no,
their people weren't there. I don't think their sports people in general were there because they ended up doing the same thing, like just not even playing Madden. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
it,
I think
I'm
the
telling.
cool thing about that was is that it wasn't like it was strategic because the forfeits
Right.
came down to how much time do you want to really lose? Because there's a 4 hour running clock basically
Mhm.
throughout the whole thing. So you got 4 hours to get in whatever games you're going to get in. So if you looking at a game and going, this is going to take too much time off of something that we might be able to get later, or two games we might be able to get later, you just take the L on that shit and try and get your point back somewhere else.
Right. And it makes a lot of sense. And it ends up, I'm telling you, like well after that, things were so even that it's like it never happened. So
Yeah. Yeah,
you
and
see
yeah,
that,
that was the weird thing. Like the forfeits happened, and it was like it don't even fucking matter.
yep. Because like
Like
I'm
you
telling
saved
you,
time. You didn't save a point. You saved time, and that's cool.
facts. You know that something is like well crafted when it starts to feel like is this somehow scripted? Like this
Dog.
is just
I pulled after the Guilty Gear forfeit. I pulled Titus aside because I asked him if he was cool with us using the VOD, and
Mhm.
I said, "Yo, this couldn't have gone any better." He was like,
Really
"Nah, it really couldn't have."
seriously.
Like
Like
the way that turned out, it literally like if somebody was there that's like, big wig or
mhm.
whatever that was coming in to see what this was, they found the fuck out that day.
Yeah. I mean, and from the gameplay to just the crowd, like just the energy there, the hosts were killing it. You know what I mean? I ended up on the mic multiple times somehow, but they
Oh
were out
yeah, my
here,
man hit you with the spin move face.
man. Look, yep, I
He
thought
was
I
like,
was
"Yeah, I'm in the
safe.
clear." Nope.
Thought I was
He hit
safe.
you with the smooth spin and sat.
Better be ready to interact. You better be ready to cheer if you pull up there. You know what I mean? Like there,
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's one of those that you can't just idly sit by. You know what I mean? We talking the whole time, but like locked in the whole time at the same
right,
time. You know what I mean?
right.
And then it really can't speak highly enough to the whole experience, man.
Yeah,
Got
man,
your
that's
value.
that for real. I mean, yeah, man, they had like the score bug was fire. They had
Yeah.
like the LED lights up on the wall on the side. It was Reapers win, New Moon win. Like every time someone came up, you could see the players' faces on the dog. It was incredible. The only real technical hiccup wasn't even their fault. Riot's client servers went down and they couldn't play League of Legends. That
Yeah.
was it. And it that wasn't on them.
Be like that. You know what I mean? And like I said, the fact that they have so many games, like you can just kind of keep it moving. Like you might not even
And
notice.
it took like 30 seconds when they realized that's what it was. It was like, all right, we're just gonna move on to the next thing. I think the next thing was Forza.
And it changes nothing.
And then
You
we was
know?
right back at it.
Yep. I actually think that they were supposed to play Halo at some point. I don't know if what happened there. They ended up not playing
I
that, but
think someone forfeit Halo. Because Halo
okay.
did get picked. I think somebody forfeited Halo.
Something like that. But like I'm telling you, it doesn't break up the flow of things. Like it felt
Nah,
like I've realized left because I'm like, I was here for 4.5 hours. I'm gonna lose track of time. What time did you actually end up leaving that joint? Like,
I left probably about 10, 15, 10:30,
yeah,
maybe a little bit past that. But I mean, it was basically like right after the championship was over. I just got up, I went to the side, I just kind of watched everybody celebrating. And once Titus had a second, I went over, dapped him up,
yeah,
congratulated him on
yeah.
it. And then we talked a little bit about, anything that we might want to work on going forward. And then I just left.
Yeah,
they did like a championship celebration, but I had to go to work in the morning. Like,
man, that's
I
what
wanted to stay. I wanted to stay for it, but I was like,
I'm
look, I'm already stretching it.
there's a point where I'm like, I'm locked in and I got to see how this ends. And I would have been living in DC to this day if
Oh,
I stayed out there, like
I'd had to cop a hotel or something because
straight
it
up.
like, dog, I mean, the way the championship ended, like I sent you the video of the last play.
Yes.
The celebration is what put like it brought all of that, it tied all that shit together. Because
Yeah.
them dudes was just celebrating like the Celtics is winning the championship, which they will be doing in about 30 minutes
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
winning by 20. But like
Mm.
that's what it looked like. It looked like real deal. We just won the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, I saw a dude crying, and I'm like, yo, I get it.
Yeah. It was
I get it.
absolutely fitting
I
for like
respect it.
the entire energy of that whole
Yeah,
thing.
man.
And I mean, I seen it from multiple angles. I seen the video that you sent me. I saw it on Twitch. So like just the hype was there. Getting to see the interviews, you guys can get like Reapers out there or New Moon out there talking and kind of giving some insight into what was going on, during the matches. At the end, the winners actually stepped up and each team member got to step up and kind of talk toward the win. It's pretty awesome. And the one thing I want to highlight, the fact that the whole time you and I are both like, yo, should we sign up for this? Like, that's the
Dog,
energy.
I
Like,
got the Google form. It's filled in right now.
yeah,
I'm about to send that thing through probably tomorrow. But yeah,
that
I
energy.
got that. Dog, because it was like it was one of those things where it's like everybody. I didn't see anybody who was weak at anything. Like everybody was nice,
Right,
but I didn't see anything where I was like, I can't do that. Like
right.
I watch Evo and I go, I can't do that shit.
Facts,
I can't do
facts.
none of that. I watch Sonic Fox playing. I'm like, yo, I ain't got it.
Yep,
I
yep.
ain't got
All
it.
them. I say it all the time. The game that I would want to get there, and I'm not going to even pretend that I'm anywhere near there. But the one that I would want to get there because I feel like I have some skills Smash, and that's because
Yeah.
I've been playing Smash my whole life. I watch people like Hungry Box and Mango and these competitive Smash players, the tweets of the world and whatnot. And I'm just like, man, I don't move that fast. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm,
just we just don't have it. But it was
and
like, go
I was gonna say, I know that it's like, this is one of those things where we just not putting that time in and like dedicating ourselves to like locking into the game like that. But it feels like to do that, this would have to be my thing. Like this would have to be
you
what
12
I do.
hours, like,
Yeah,
yeah, you'd have to
yeah,
be locked in. I feel like this because I remember Titus saying like he wanted this to kind of be a thing where people got paid for
yeah.
real, like full time, like got paid to do it. Because the way everybody was playing, it was mad competitive. It was hella skillful, but it
Yes,
still felt attainable.
exactly. It's the
Like
perfect
I didn't
word.
feel like I saw somebody who was just gonna mix me up before I even touched the controller. I
Facts.
felt like I had a shot. He might whoop my ass, but I'm gonna be able to put up a fight.
Right.
And that's
And
really all you want,
you, you,
if you're
you
watching that to go, yeah, I can do this.
right, you're soaking up game that you feel like you can actually use and not something that's like, man, maybe one day I can get to that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna know exactly where, but like I said, there is that high level of skill where, like I said, in the fighting games, I feel like they did hit those peaks where I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
not,
no.
yeah, I'm not that fighting game guy.
Hey,
But
look, I don't want to see Ricky. That's all I'm saying.
you know what I'm saying?
I keep going back to dog. It's just
It'd be like that. Like
he was nuts.
listen, there are some people that really just have it like your reflexes are that fast, you know what I mean? Or like your eye for this shit is just that good. So your natural talents will come out. And you might learn that you're good in the shooter too. Like these the same people playing the shooters and
Right,
the
right.
I mean
Because
they play
Fortnite,
man,
dog, the building.
yeah.
That's the thing that's gonna trip me up. I ain't
It
nailed that
is
down yet. I ain't nailed that
it,
down yet.
it's the thing that makes me feel old the most in this world. Is like
Yes.
I know it's like 10-year-olds cooking me in that build.
Cook.
Like
But
it's fun.
like I told you, what I learned is if I get in a no build, I'm giving people problems because I can shoot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. And
that's the thing. Sometimes dudes be getting in the build heavy just because they can't shoot, and
right.
they kind of depending on like you can they get a little peak and just kind of pop and get lucky. Nah, you getting that no build, it ain't up between us but air and opportunity. You got to aim. You got to let
Facts.
this thing go.
100%, man. And honestly, I'm willing to jump back into it. That's another thing that I took away from this. It made me want to jump into games I haven't jumped into before. Things I
He was
haven't
talking
played
about
in
wanting to play
forever.
Overwatch.
Man, it's been forever. It's been over a year since I played Overwatch, and like I told you, it's not like I'm explicitly boycotting Overwatch. It's just been too many things that have pushed my interest away from Overwatch. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
this type of, I mean, anytime you see competitive play, it's going to make you want to get into it. But feeling so like involved, it feels like the people's league to some degree.
yeah,
Like it makes you want to jump in there, like, man, maybe I can do a little something. You know what I mean? I'm not a bad far.
yeah. And then the dope thing was like it was mad shit talk, but
Yeah,
it wasn't like beef. Like it wasn't no beef. Like
yeah,
they was just talking shit. And
exactly.
you get up, you point at a motherfucker, you get your yell
Yep.
on, and then but
Move
nobody
on.
on the Reapers was taking it personal when New Moon did it, and vice versa. It was just
Right.
like, yo, it's 100,000 on the line.
The energy is there. We
I'm on
trying
your
to win.
ass. I'm on your
If
ass.
if that energy wasn't there, then it would be like, are you really in it? You know what I mean? Are you
Yeah.
really here for this? So
Shout
I
out to
love to
Spicy
see it.
Pops too.
Yeah, he was on
Dog.
it. He had some,
I wish I had seen him before he left. Before I
mm,
left, rolled out. I wish I had seen him before I rolled out. But yeah, nah,
man.
he was cool. He was dog. After you left is when he really
Mhm.
turned up
Oh,
because he was
shit.
just screaming
Okay.
to Reapers, forfeit, forfeit.
Man,
He don't have it. He don't have it. Dog, I
it's
was crying, and he was doing it like right behind Ricky's family, and they was laughing. They was with it too. They was going back and forth. Like I said, it's the best parts of AAU where it's like the parents is into it, but they
yeah.
ain't beefing. It's just everybody having fun and chilling.
Yeah, we're gonna
But
treat it
they
like the
was
Super Bowl, but we know it's not the Super
right,
Bowl. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's the best type of vibe, honestly, and like it really sold me on the whole experience, even more than just talking about it, even more than having caught the stream since we had the interview. I think this season finale is worth it to watch. If you're like me and you like to turn on gameplay of things just to kind of chill out and whatnot, I think UEL is so perfect for that because you turn on the season finale, you got hours of just random games being
Yeah,
played.
man.
You know what I mean?
It's I think in total it was like 4.5, 5 hours,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
beginning to end. And it's just, I mean, everything's pretty quick. Like, and the
yep,
dope thing is that they have like a setup timer where you get like 3 minutes in between games. You got to decide who gonna play, what order, whatever your rules are in the
right.
game. And if you don't set up before that timer's up, you forfeit that game. So it forces you to be quick in and out of games. And I think that's a
Mhm.
really underrated aspect of how Titus got that set up because it
Yeah,
can very easily turn into something that go 8 hours.
yeah, absolutely. You can feel it in there. Like, they will play 8 hours of competitive play
Yeah.
to win that shit. But
Yeah.
it's amazingly set up. Like I can't speak highly enough to it, man. Is there anything else you
Man.
want to highlight before we kind of wrap it up? Because I want to make this episode an episode to encourage y'all to go watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 No, I mean, not just, shout out to Titus, man. Like I told you, this is the first time we met him in person.
Right.
Um, like I said, we got to talk to him in the interview, but just from like how he reacted to everything, like I said, he was there at least the last 3 or 4 games, front row, wiling out just like the rest of us on
Uh,
every finish. It looked
yeah.
like he felt like this was the one. Like out of all of them, this was
Mhm.
the one. And man, it was.
It felt like it, man.
It
Listen,
felt like it. It really
the
did.
the best proof of concept you can get, man.
Dog, it was incredible. Like I said,
Straight up.
the energy from everybody involved all the way through. Like it didn't feel like anybody was fatigued at all.
Yeah. The entire
Maybe an
time.
open bar helped, but it did. But it
Yeah,
didn't feel
yeah.
like anybody was fatigued. Like everybody was into it from beginning to end. It's a beautiful setup, man. Like that's the best way I can put it. Like it's a truly beautiful setup. Um, I can't wait to see what happens with season 9. I might be involved in season 9.
Facts.
I'm trying to get drafted, so I'm trying to get
Listen,
in. I'm trying to get in.
listen. Either we'll be involved in season 9 or Eclipse Theory will. So we'll figure out something, some way or shape or form, whether it just be to make episodes covering some of the stuff that's going on, like as far as season finales and stuff. Because if they do an event like this, you'll definitely see another episode just like this talking about, you
Oh yeah.
know,
Look, Stafford is. I checked the GPS. Stafford is about an hour and a half with good traffic for me. I drive an hour and a half to a place I don't like Monday through Friday. I will damn
Facts.
sure go to Stafford for a regular match. I don't care. I'll pull
100%.
up.
100%. I'm not mad at it. So make sure you guys go follow UEL eSports. Check them out. You know, they're on Twitter, Instagram. Find them on YouTube. Find all their videos. You can actually see the episode that we're talking about, the finales of season 8. So we'll try to put some links in the description below to make sure it's like easier for you to find it. But definitely hit us up. Let us know what you thought of it. What your favorite aspect of this really unique esport league is, and if you're interested, man, seriously, sign up. Like it's open
Yeah, it's
to,
free.
yeah,
It's free to sign up.
it's honestly worth giving it a shot. Why not? You know, let's
Yeah,
expand this and make this really the people's league, just like we want to make this the people's
man.
show. So
Free to sign up. Put your info in. You go in their Discord. Just interact with the teams.
yeah,
See what people like, and if they draft you, good luck.
yeah, you want, yeah, love to see it. But definitely let us know, man. Leave a comment below. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and give us those ratings on podcast services because we want to definitely make sure that we're getting that feedback from you guys because we're making a show for you. I say it every week. But until next time, man, I'm Kendall. This is Tony. And make sure you keep gaming. Keep watching UEL. Take care.